The year is 1865. The Civil War has just ended, and you've somehow survived the madness. You fought for the Union, took a few wounds, and guess what? You won! Great job! Now it's time to hang up the uniform and start all over again. So you and your wife pack up and head west. Kansas, to be exact. It's not complete chaos anymore, but it's still pretty wild. Think of it as an early access version of the Wild West. And the best part is that thanks to the Land Tenure Act, the government is practically giving away land. You walk in, pay $18 for the paperwork, and voila, 160 acres are yours. $18. It was a lot of money back then, but still, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. All that is required of you in return is that it looks like you live there. Not bad, considering France was cheated out of this land for $15 million. You and your wife are occupying a plot of land in Dickinson County. You dream big. Seas of golden wheat, lazily munching cows, and mountains of money. Easy, right? But first, you need a place to sleep. You have land, but zero building materials. No problem. You do what every other homesteader does. You build a mud house. Yes, an adobe house. Exactly as dull as it sounds. A grass saw. Essentially just bricks of grass and dirt stacked into a rectangle. Everyone does it here, which doesn't make it any less sad. You and your wife work hard, and after 3 weeks of grueling labor, you have an adobe house. It's not pretty, but at least you're no longer sleeping under the stars. Unless you'd prefer that. Last night, you sat down to dinner, took a bite of your stew, and a snake just casually fell from the ceiling. It's not even the first time. It's the third time this week. And it's not just the snakes. There are bugs, mice, spiders. Basically, anything that crawls or bites is now part of your extended family. Even dust comes uninvited. It gets into your food, your hair, your dreams. Oh, and when it rains, congratulations! You get a free shower right in your living room. You've patched that damn roof so many times you could do it blindfolded. Pila just laughs at your efforts. Your wife, she absolutely hates this place. She wants a real house, a decent roof, maybe walls that don't melt when it rains. But you keep the dream alive. You remind her that the land is your future. If you just hold on a little longer, you can get rich. 2 brutal years. That's how long you sweated under the Kansas sun, praying your mud house wouldn't collapse and whispering motivational words to your crops. And finally, nature throws you a bomb. Your first real harvest is in, and it's big. You take him to the city and get around $600. You feel like a millionaire for about 6 minutes. Then you remember. Oh right, you bought seeds and tools and, food. You crunch the numbers and owe your profit, a whole $100. That's enough to buy more disappointment. Nothing. That's just the first few years, right? You tell yourself it will all work out, you hope. Still, part of you wants to give up and leave Kansas, but that's hard now. In 2 years, you've become someone here. You and your wife go to church. You have friends. People wave at you on the street, and not like they're about to rob you. You're known as the guy who doesn't settle disputes with fists or gunshots. And when trouble arises, it's you who helps the city marshal haul drunks and thieves off to jail. Then, one evening, after a long day of toiling in the fields, your friends show up, and they're not alone. The town marshals are with them. They're smiling. Never a good sign. They want you to run for sheriff. The town is spinning out of control. Cowboys, outlaws, gamblers. The place is turning into the set of a bad western. And the current law enforcement officer is completely corrupt. The city needs someone who actually cares. Someone honest. Someone like, well, you. At first you think, politics? Absolutely not. But every time you see another drunken cowboy trash a saloon or some outlaw brandish a gun in the street, you get an itch. You want to fix it. So you say yes. Congratulations. You're now on the fast track to becoming the Wild West version of Batman, minus the cape and the millions. Now comes the fun part, the election campaign. You spend weeks under the merciless Kansas sun, traveling from one dusty farm to another, telling people about your plans. It turns out they like you. You're not some smooth-talking politician. You're just a guy who never shot anyone without provocation, which is about the equivalent of sainthood around here. Election day arrives. The courtrooms are packed. Your opponent, the incumbent sheriff, is Mr. Corruption. He uses every dirty trick in this game, bribes, lies, probably even free whiskey. But somehow, this only makes you even better. The results are coming in, and it's not even close. You're winning by a landslide. Congratulations, you're now the sheriff of Dickinson County. You have a shiny new badge, a new house, and a salary that actually allows you to buy things, not just dream about them. The good people of Abalin are counting on you to restore order. Meanwhile, every criminal and shady merchant in town now hates you. Your job is simple on paper: enforce the law, catch criminals, keep the peace. But it's never that easy. Things aren't any easier at home either. Your wife, who fought just as hard to build this life, is tired. Tired of being afraid. Tired of worrying every night whether today will be the day some criminal shoots you. She tells you straight out, this job will kill you. It might kill me too. She begs you to quit, to start over, to find a safer life before it's too late. But you can't. Not when you finally built something worth fighting for. Not when the city is counting on you. So you stay, even though you know she might be right. Look, criminals don't like being arrested. Amazing, right? They shoot first. They shoot dirty. And they don't care if you're wearing a badge or a wedding ring. You only shoot when you have to. You don't look for trouble, but if it finds you, you'll make sure to finish it. Like that horse thief you had to stop. The guy nearly sent you to an early grave. 1 second you're trying to calm him down. The next, he pulls out a gun and forces you to act. This isn't a world where you can just talk. This is the Wild West. Being a good guy doesn't mean being soft. You want peace, sure. But when the going gets tough, your job is to survive. Badge or no badge, it's kill or be killed. A year into the service, Dickinson County is truly at peace for the first time in a long time. There's still tension simmering beneath the surface. It's the Wild West after all. But no one's foolish enough to mess with you. Then one morning, an eviction notice, signed by the county clerk, lands on your desk. It's business as usual. You and your assistant saddle up and head out to deliver it. No backup, just 2 men, 1 piece of paper, and a court order. When you arrive, it's dead silent. You knock on the gate, shouting out the tenant's name. Nothing. No movement, no response. Nobody cares. You begin reading the notice aloud. You are ordered by the district court to leave this property no later than… Bang! A shot, and it barely misses your head. Okay, this guy is in no mood for talking. You take cover, screaming that engaging in a firefight with you was a terrible idea. Whatever. The shots keep flying, like at a shooting range. You're pinned to the ground. You can't even see your assistant. He's probably already wounded. Then silence. You look out. The pistol is ready, and there it is. Old Thomas, the tenant farmer. He calmly reloads. Stop! If you don't stop, I'll have to shoot. He doesn't care. He keeps reloading as if he's deaf or just tired of life. You're seconds away from making a decision when you spot another guy out of the corner of your eye with a raised gun. You don't hesitate. You shoot. Then, when the dust settles, your stomach twists. This is not Thomas's friend. This is your assistant. You run to him, press on the wound, beg him to stay with you, but it's too late. He dies in your arms. Your friend, your partner. Something inside you breaks. You look at old Thomas again. Just one glance, that's enough. You raise the gun and fire. You know you shouldn't have. It wasn't justice, but at that moment, it felt like the only thing you could do. And just like that, the peace in Dickinson County is shattered. News travels fast. 1 minute, you're the trusted sheriff. The next, you're the guy who killed his own assistant and his old tenant in a shootout that got out of hand. It doesn't matter how many criminals you put away or how many shootings you stop. People only remember the blood. People who once trusted you now look at you as just another criminal wearing a shiny badge. Sure, you did good things as sheriff. You kept the peace. You cleaned up the streets. But killing 2 people, even by Wild West standards, is savage. And the worst part is, no one hates you more than you do. You see your assistant's children in town and your stomach clenches. You cry when no one is looking. You drink most often. Whiskey becomes your new best friend. It's the only thing that dulls the feeling of guilt, even if it slowly kills you. Then fate strikes you again. Your wife starts coughing. Nothing serious at first. Then blood appears. Tuberculosis. She needs medicine. She needs you. But you can barely stand on your own 2 feet. Most of your money has already been poured into the bottom of the whiskey bottle. After all, she dies. You are losing the only family you have left, and it is all your fault. At least that's how you see it. The pain is unbearable. So you do the only thing you know how to do now. You drink even more. By the time the next sheriff election comes around, you're done trying. You're gone. You want nothing to do with badges, the law, or anything else. Now you spend your days in saloons, drinking, gambling, hanging out with the same criminals you used to chase. Time passes. Kansas begins to change. The stockyards, once full of rowdy cowboys, are emptying. They're moving somewhere else. But the violence, yeah, it's still alive and kicking. The new sheriff is struggling. Crime is on the rise. People are scared. But hey, that's not your problem anymore. Right now you have more important things to do, like win this card game. Because if you don't win, you won't eat today. And the guy across the table looks like he already knows what your cards are. He folds. You lose. Now give me everything you have. Damn it, you've lost everything again, but this time you can't afford to walk away. You slam your fist on the table, throw the cards on the floor and let your shoes do the work. I won't pay you anything. Bad move. He doesn't argue, doesn't yell. He just takes out his revolver, like he's done it 100 times. You try to calm him down. Wait, we can work this out. Buck. It's over before you hit the floor. You're bleeding fast. The room is spinning. The bastard's already running. And all you can do is lie there, watching your own life go away. People rush to you, trying to save you, screaming your name. But it's no use. You know it. They know it. This is how it ends. You've made more mistakes than most men have a chance to make. But you've also given everything you could to make your life better. You brought the law to a place where it was not believed. You stood for something when most simply stood by. And long after your dust settles on your Kansas grave, the city will remember the years when justice wore a star and your name. Thanks for watching, and congratulations on not being born back then. But if you want to see your other alternate life, watch the next video.